Hey guys, my name is Gentrix from Generation Gaming Studios. I am an indie developer over there. So in today's video, we will be setting up the start of our third-person shooter series. So at the moment, you won't have this on your screen. So what you want to do is go ahead and create a project with a third-person template. And once it is created and it is open, we will go ahead and set up some folders to help us organize things easier. Okay. So once it is open and you are to this point, you want to create a first folder called main. You want that to be a nice blue color. Mine's already there because I did record this video before. Kind of forgot to add a few things, so that's why it's like that. Inside of here, you want to add another folder called blueprints, and then we want to open up this blueprints folder. Then we want to add weapons. Alongside the weapons, we want to add enums, and we want to add components. First thing we want to do is go ahead and make a blueprint class of actor. Call this BP underscore weapon master. Whoops, I can't spell weapon master. There we go. And then once we've done this, we also want to make a weapon component as well. So if you go to right click, go to blueprint class, go to act component. We want to call this comp underscore weapon system. Okay. And we'll go ahead and we'll drag that into the components folder right now. And then we'll go ahead and we will add in an enumeration. So we want to add, right click, go to blueprints, go to enumeration. We want to call this E underscore weapon. Or weapons, whatever. Call that weapons. It's going to have more than one. So we want to add 6 things into here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for the first one, we want to have none. Okay, next one, we want to have AK-47. For the third one, we want to have M4. SMG-11. Whoops. Handgun. And the last one we want to have is combat knife. You can call these whatever you want, but this is just what it's going to be called in our game. We'll drag that up there as well. Now that we've done that, we need to go ahead and make a structure, okay? So if we go to blueprints and you go to structure, we want to call this S underscore weapon. Whoops. And we want to go ahead, open this up, and we want to add a couple of things in here. So for the first member variable, we want to add weapon name, and we want this to be of type text. Okay. And then we want to add another variable, and we just stretch this out here. So then once we've done this one, we want to add this as weapon enumeration. And we want this to be of the type of the enumeration that we made. So E underscore weapon. Next one, we want this to be, whoops. We want this to be the weapon class. And this is the type weapon master that we made before. And after that one, we want mag size. We want this to be integer. And then we want current mag or current ammo, whatever you want to call it. We want this to be also an integer. And then we want a variable for damage. We want this to be a float. And then we want weapon icon, which we want to be a text 2D. You don't have to add these in, but I'm just adding these in for my game and for this tutorial. So we want to search for texture 2D. There it is. You want to get the object reference. And the last one, we want to make a boolean and check is melee weapon, because we don't want to hold a melee weapon like a rifle, do we? So once we've done this, let's head over to the weapon master. Let's create a variable and call this weapon structure. And then we want this to be of type S underscore weapon. No problem. So we want to add a child class of the guns we want. So before we do that, let's head over to the Epic Store. So I'll bring this over here for you guys. So as you can see here, we want to be using the FPS bundle. So FPS weapon bundle, this one right here. There is going to be a link to this in the description for you guys. I will be using a lot of, well, some paid assets in this video. You don't have to use them. You can just do this with the FPS weapon bundle. So let's go ahead and we'll add this to the third person shooter tutorial. And we will also search for animation starter pack. We want to get this one right here as well. And then we want to add this one into the third person shooter tutorial as well. And then once these are added, we want to go ahead and carry on doing what we were doing. So, like I said before, we are going to be trying to make some child classes for the guns that we want. So what you want to do is you want to make a folder. You want to call this weapons. Then we'll make another one and we'll call it enums. I don't know why this one didn't save. We made this before. So we'll drag that enumeration into there. And inside of the weapons, we're going to have all of the things. So like we're going to have rifles, pistols, stuff like this. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to right click the weapon, BP underscore weapon master. And you want to call this BP underscore rifle master. And you want to do it again and call this BP underscore. Let's just call this melee master for now. And then we'll only make these ones for now. And then BP underscore pistol master. Okay. So then in here we've got make some folders inside of our weapons. So we've got pistol, rifle, and melee. Let's go ahead, click on this little icon here. This will drop it down. So if we head over to our main folder into our blueprints, we want to select the 3 weapon masters that we made. So melee, pistol, and rifle. Drag them into weapons. And then if we head back into the weapons folder and drag them into the corresponding one. So rifle into rifle, pistol into pistol, and melee into melee. So what we want to do is once we have done this, put them into their folders. And now that we have them in their folders, let's go ahead and open the weapon master again, and let's add some things to this. Okay. So the first one, we want to add a skeletal mesh or a static mesh, whichever, you know, whatever assets you're using. So for us, it's going to be skeletal mesh, and let's go ahead and call this gun mesh. Okay. And then we want to add a sphere collision. Okay, and we'll call this interaction radius. Call this interaction radius. So let's head over to the rifle master that we have just made here. Okay, and now that we're here, what you want to do is you want to right click and click create child blueprint. We'll just call this one BP underscore AR4. And we'll open this. And then inside here for the gun mesh, we just want to search for AR4, and you want to get the X, the one on the X. If you get the other one, it'll be weird. It'll be facing the wrong way, and you would have to manually turn it around. Okay, so now that we've done this one, once we have done this and added the weapon mesh in, let's go ahead and add another file and call it interfaces. So let's head back to blueprints, and let's call this interfaces. So now that we've gone ahead and created a file called interfaces, inside of this folder, what we want to do is right click, go to blueprints, and go to blueprint interface. Okay. And then you want to call this int underscore interact. Okay. So now that we've made this, let's add an input. Oh god. So let's change the name of the function first to interact. I'm already messing up. And let's add an input onto this. Okay. So the first input that we want to make is called, let's think of a name for this. My name convention is very bad, so I do apologize. And you want to call this interactor. And you want this to be of an object reference, so of an actor. Okay. And now that we've done this, let's head over to the BP weapon master, which is this one. We want to add in the interface that we just made, which is called int underscore interactor. Okay. I do apologize. I do talk quite a lot on videos, but this is the first time I've actually sat down and done a tutorial with people. So bear with me if I sound like I'm messing up my words or anything like this. Okay. So to add the interface, what you want to do is you want to go into the Weapon Master, click Class Settings, come down to where it says Interfaces, and click Add. And then you just want to search for the interface. We've already added it here. And while we are in here, let's delete all the nodes here in the event graph. Okay. And then what we want to do is we want to grab the interact event. So now that we've added in, if we compile and save and then type in interact, it should come up called event interact. So now that we've added in the component, we can get this event. So anything that happens within the component, we can do into here. Okay. So once this is added in, we don't really want to do too much. So for now, we will compile and save everything, as I don't want this video to go on too long. Yeah, so this is just a basic setup of the third-person shooter. So we will try and go ahead and we will see about adding in interactions for the weapons in the next episode. Just obviously, I don't want this video to go on too long. So I'd like to thank you for watching. Stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next one.